Good morning. We're now in the third full week of Lent. That means we have 3 behind us and 3 ahead of us. So now, peeling behind the reflection today, and all I talk about crutches, I think if you peel it away, you find the real theme, which is dependence. For many of us, at least for me, I hear that word and I think vulnerable. In fact, I think weak. I even think wimpy. So why? Why would that be so? And I think it's because the flip side of dependence is independence. And that is definitely a deep-seated American value. So yeah, all you have to do is think back to people like Ralph Waldo Emerson and that famous essay, Self-Reliance, or you think about rugged individualism, or you consider the final line in the poem Invictus, where he says, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Really? Anyway, so it seems to me that at first blush, it does seem, dependence seems a little bit wimpy. And I think that in part it's because so much time and money gets spent on things that are made to toughen us up. Things, we get life coaches, we read self-improvement books. We now have this new thing of acknowledging self-care. We go on survival treks and rigorous outward bound excursions. I've even done some of those. But as the writer of this reflection points out, and back to the crutch metaphor, dependence can actually lead us to other opportunities and many other strengths. Because the thing about dependence, it seems to me, is that it requires submission. And that requires grace. And then there's that, what is it, grace? But to me, among other things, it's that ineffable gift of surrendering personal hubris and being transformed by the better angels of our nature. In this case, that means acknowledging dependence on others, depending upon our friends, our family, the kindness of strangers, and certainly the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Shakespeare talked about the qualities of mercy being twice blessed. Blesses those who give and those who receive. That is certainly true of dependence. At our weekly St. Mary staff meetings, one of the things that we read almost every week is this prayer. We thank you for those disappointments and failures that lead us to acknowledge our dependence on you alone. Amazing. Staggering in some levels. That is a personal aspiration, to acknowledge utter dependence on our faith and God. So, now with that as a goal maybe for the third week of Lent, we can forget about things like outward bound and instead focus on inward bound. We know without question that there will be plenty of mountains to cross, mountains to climb, deserts to cross. But while we're doing it, we can pray for grace. And that grace will help us to acknowledge our dependence on God alone and all the gifts of the Holy Spirit that are ours to receive and ours to give. May you have a blessed and dependent third week of Lent.